What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another BTD Gaming Master Duel video, and today we're taking a look at one of my favorite archetypes of all time. If you remember, not that long ago, I just posted a TCG deck profile for it, but I also want to do a Master Duel deck profile for it as well, so that you can see how it works in both formats. Of course, the deck I'm talking about is Burning Abyss. It looks a little different in this format because of cards that aren't in the game and some cards that are. So we're going to take a look at the deck profile and then some replays. So I hope you enjoy it. Alright, what's up? Here we are with the deck profile. And you can see, yeah, there's 44 cards in here, which is a little more than what people would prefer to run. But remember, in the TCG deck list that we uploaded, there's 50 cards, so at least there's a little less in this one. So we're going to go through each card and just talk about what this deck can do, and then we'll go watch some replays to see how it performs. So first we have Absolute King Backjack. What's nice about this is you can banish him and excavate the top card of your deck. If it's a normal trap, you can set it, and the set card can be activated that turn, which is nice. This deck has a lot of normal traps, so this card can come in handy. We have one Backjack. Next, we have the best card in the game. Always going to say it, Maxi 3. It's just a must include in really any deck list. 3 Tour Guide. Tour Guide, I mean, works fantastic with this deck. Summon a level 3 fiend monster from your hand, but negate its effects, which is big because if you summon a Burning Abyss monster with a non-Burning Abyss monster, it'll be destroyed, but Tour Guide negates that, so that can get into some good Xyz plays. 3 Tour Guide is the 1-card combo. It's the Ash bait, so we do want to see that. Now we're getting into the actual Burning Abyss monsters. We're starting with Skarm. Skarm is the Searcher. When he's sent to the graveyard during the end phase, you can add one level 3 Dark Fiend type monster, which can be Tour Guide. That's what a lot of people use Skarm for. It can be any of the other Burning Abyss monsters, which is very, very good. We have 2 of him. We're not running 3 because, again, you can recycle a lot of these cards. So 2 Skarm seems good. Next, we have 3 Graph. A lot of times you'll want to summon Graph using Tour Guide's effect. And if he's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Burning Abyss monster from your deck. And most of the time, that is going to be this next guy, which is Seer. Seer is very good. When he's sent to the graveyard, you can target one Burning Abyss monster in your graveyard, except for Seer, and special summon it. So what's nice about Seer is he works very well with Dante, and causes a loop to happen, so you always have a resource in your hand. We'll get to that later. Next, we have Eldlich. He can negate an effect, which is nice. Next, we have Farfa. 2 Farfa. What's great about Farfa is that, you know, this card can win games. If you watched any of the Xyz festival live streams on YouTube from when the event was going on, Farfa really won us some games in that. So, just a good card. Yeah, the card's banished until the end of the turn, but it can really disrupt what your opponent's doing, or it can just be a card that gets rid of a troublesome card on your opponent's side of the field, so that you can go for the win on your turn. Farfa, very good card. And next we have Eldlich, and Eldlich can special summon a level 3 fiend monster from your hand, but its effects are negated. It's kind of like Tour Guide, but it has to be from your hand. Next we have Fiendish Rhino Warrior. What's cool about him is he can be another target for Tour Guide, and, you know, a detached target for your Dante or your Beatrice. And when he's sent to the graveyard, you can send one fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. So a lot of people will send Skarm so that at the end of the turn they get a search, or they'll send Farfa off of Fiendish Rhino so they can get the banish. 2 Rhino, very good in this deck. Next we have 3 Ash Blossom. If you prefer different hand traps, then go for it, but I think Ash Blossom is the most versatile in this format. Next we have the Dangers, Danger Jackalope and Danger Tsuchinoko. Very good extenders, much needed extenders in this deck. They're level 3, so you can get your rank 3 Xyz monsters using these guys as well. 2 Called by the Grave, so that your negates, your ashes can go through. And going into the traps, we have 2 Torrential Tributes, which is really good. Obviously, can clear off the board. Needle Sealing, an older card, and does still see play today. When there are 4 or more monsters on the field, destroy all face-up monsters. A lot of the time, especially in this deck, you're going to find yourself in situations where on the entire board, there's going to be 4 or more monsters. So they're not always expecting the Needle Sealing. But again, this card can clear the board. It can also, if some of your Burning Abyss monsters get sent to the grave, trigger their effect. What's nice about this is if you clear your board and you're able to do the Dante and Seer loop, alright, you cleared your entire opponent's board, but then you were able to special summon your Dante anyway. So Needle Sealing, a very good card in this deck. We have Phoenix Wing Blast. Discard 1 card, then target 1 card your opponent controls. Place that target on the top of the deck. You're discarding a card, so that's obviously very good. And again, you are taking an opponent's monster off the field, which is a good thing. Next, we have Fiend Griefing, very good card in this deck, mainly because you can get maybe a good card out of your opponent's graveyard, and you can also send one of your Fiend monsters. Again, you know, this works very well with a card like Farfa, where you're activating a trap, getting a monster out of your opponent's graveyard, and then sending your Farfa, and then your Farfa can banish a monster on your opponent's side of the field, or you're sending your Storm so you have a search during the end phase, alright, or your Libet so you can special summon, or your Rhino so that you can thin the deck and then send another one. So Fiend Griefing is such a great card in this deck. It's also not a once per turn, so 3 of Fiend Griefing is very good. Next, we have 2 Paleozoic Diomishus. Again, you're banishing monsters, plus you have a lot of traps to activate, so this will be another body on the field after it's used. Infinite Impermanence, you know, hand trap, good negate. It's a normal trap too, which works well with Absolute King Backjack, and also this next card, Trap Trick. Lets you search any normal trap, and I believe all the trap cards in here are normal traps, except for Imperial Order. This card can just ruin your opponent's day, which is crazy. If you want to add cards like Twin Twisters to deal with Eldlich, that's not a bad idea. Raigeki is also a nice option. You know, I don't mind Twin Twisters at all, especially because, again, it synergizes well with the deck because you're discarding cards, right? And you want to send your Burning Abyss monsters to the graveyard, right? So then you can activate their effects. So, you know, maybe I'll even throw these in here just for the sake of these duels coming up. Just good cards, removal. You know, it kind of goes against your Imperial Order, but that's okay. Again, Twin Twister is very good because you're discarding a card, so you can also trigger one of your Burning Abyss monsters also. In the extra deck, our only fusion is Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. Really, the only way we're summoning him is via Beatrice's effect. We have number 49, Fortune Tune. This card can be annoying for your opponent because when this card would be destroyed by battle, you can attach a material from this card instead, and he stays on the field. During your standby phase, you can also gain 500 life points from him. Just a very annoying card for your opponent to have to deal with. Next, we have the heart and soul of this deck, which is Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. Again, you want him turn 1. You can detach to send up to 3 cards to the top of your deck, and that increases his attack points by 500 for each card. That's also a way you're sending Burning Abyss monsters to the graveyard via his effect, right? And you're also detaching. You're going to probably be detaching your graph once you summon it, and you can just get these crazy combos that ultimately leads into Beatrice. And a nice board you want to end on is Beatrice IP Masquerena. Again, Beatrice can detach a monster from her and send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard. Any of these effects that send a card from your deck to the graveyard in Burning Abyss is very good because you're getting those effects with it. Next we have Phantom Knight's a Breaksword. It's a form of removal, plus it's a rank 3. Downer Magician works nice in really any Xyz deck. And the best Xyz monster in the game is Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus Sky Thunder, of course. To the links, we have Gravity Controller, which is a good option. We also have the Burning Abyss link, Cherubini, which can send a card from the deck to grave. It's only a link 2. Very good. We have Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Unicorn, again for more removal, and that'll also get us into the access code talk or play. And then we have IP Masquerade, which can be a form of removal by summoning your Unicorn on your opponent's turn and getting rid of one of their cards. So this was the deck profile for the Master Duel version of Burning Abyss, and let's take a look at some replays and see how it performs. Okay. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Let's duel, baby. Let's duel. Okay. Alright, here we go. No, not Dark Magician. Not Dark Magician. We want Burning Abyss. Alright, we're going first. We're definitely going first. Alright, we want 3 good replays. 3 good replays. Ooh. That's rough. That is a rough going first hand. Ooh, hero. We are gonna max C here. Ah, that's annoying. Alright, here we go. Our first game with Burning Abyss. Let's see who we match up against here. And we're going to be looking at 3 replays, but here we go. First game, let's take a look at our opening hand. We're going second. We have Tour Guide, which is good. So let's see. Our opponent's going to activate Pot of Extravagance. Might be Eldlich. Yes, it's definitely Eldlich. 4 set cards, and this is going to be kind of a grind. Max C, but we're going to Ash the Max C here. Don't want them getting any more advantage. So here we go. Time for some Burning Abyss fun. We're going to Alquero. Yeah, here we go. And the shenanigans begin. So we're going to normal tour guide, activate tour guide effect, and the Imperial Order does nothing right now. Losing the Called by the Grave will be rough because we do want to Called by the Eldliches. Torrential Tribute kind of ruins everything here. We'll activate Graph. We'll at least special summon Skarm. We'll set 2 and pass. We got rid of some of that back row, but, you know, not great. Not the board we wanted. And that's all they have for moves here, but they'll set the Silent Sanguine, and it will come back to us. So, let's see what we got at the top. Twin Twister is huge. He has another Max C. We can't counter that. So we're going to Twin Twister. Discard the Rhino. Activate Paleozoic Dinomishus, and we are getting rid of the Imperial Order here. He had another Sanguine set, so we are seeing Eldlich this turn regardless. But we are getting rid of the Imperial Order, which is good, which means our Called by the Grave is online, which is huge against Eldlich. So Twin Twisters will resolve. Fiendish Rhino from the grave, Graph from the grave. They will both resolve, and we will special a Seer. We'll send the Farfa, we'll banish the Eldlich for this turn, and that was all in draw phase, by the way. We're going to Xyz the 2 Burning Abyss monsters, and we're going to bring out Dante, Traveler of the Abyss, but he has another Torrential. That is rough. And we're just losing all kinds of cards here. Activate Seer effect. Activate Dante. The loop is online now, so we are going to get Dante back onto the field. We are going to get Seer in our hand. Now, we are taking the Maxi challenge here, which is a bummer, but we can get Beatrice out. Discard Seer, overlay Beatrice on top of Dante. We're going to hit in for some damage here. Attack directly. And you know what this means? An Xyz monster attack. So we're going to be able to get the one and only Zeus. Again, which is pretty solid against this deck if we want to clear the board. So now it's our opponent's turn. We'll get our search off of Skarm. Full hand because of Maxi, but we really didn't have a choice. He gets Eldlich back on the field, and we'll see where this goes. He'll set Conquistador, and has a lot of options here. I'm sure he has something. Paw of Prosperity gives him even more options. Let's see what he gets. Skill Drain, that's scary. Alquero, and there's the Eldlich. So, what's cool about this, he's going to take the Eldlich here, and hopefully he activates the effect. He will, so he's going to send Eldlich, Golden Lord, and a trap to the grave. But we're going to activate Zeus, and then we're going to chain Called by the Grave. We're going to banish the Eldlich, so now none of the Golden Lord effects will activate this turn, even the guy on the field from the grave, because Zeus is going to resolve, and boom, now he's in a bad spot. Dante resolves, we'll get Skarm back to our hand. We're in a pretty good spot. He'll set 2 and doesn't realize that his other Eldlich won't activate because of the Called by the Grave. But he does get another Silent Sanguine out. We'll see if that will result in an Eldlich. Let's see what we draw. Imperial Order doesn't really matter in this matchup that much. We have Tour Guide. We have Skarm. Let's see what we can do with it. We're going to normal Tour Guide. Activate the effect. See if it'll actually go through. We'll special summon Graph. We will Xyz them off. And we'll bring out another Dante. Activate Dante effect. But Solemn Judgment is going to destroy him. We'll activate Dante effect. We'll activate Seer and Graph. And Skill Drain. Now, he kind of screws himself here. Because the thing about the Burning Abyss monsters is if they're on the field with a non-Burning Abyss monster, they get destroyed. But that effect is going to be negated now because of Skill Drain. So now I can just spam out these monsters and not worry about them being destroyed. We're going to link them off for Nightmare Unicorn. Obviously, the effect doesn't activate here. But the key thing, we sent Farfa to the grave. Activate Farfa to banish the set monster. We'll attack directly. And Burning Abyss takes the win against Eldlich. Alright, here we go. Our next matchup here. After a nice win against one of the best decks in this Master Duel format, the deck performed pretty darn well. So let's see what we can do here. Let's take a look at our first hand. We get Tour Guide. We were very fortunate with that draw. We're also going first. So we are going to normal tour guide, activate the effect. He has Ash. Oh man, has Ash, that is brutal. So now all we can really do is just set 2 and hope for the best. So let's see what our opponent can do here in main phase 1. And we'll activate Signet Codex. So we're going up against Code Talkers. We'll activate Dynamicious to ban the spell. We don't want any of that. He has another Ash for the Scarm. So we don't get our search. That is just brutal. Absolutely brutal. So we're going to try and make do with what we have here. And we get an Ash of our own. Now this is a weird move. We're going to normal the Ash because we need to get something out. We are going to bring out Phantom Knight's Breaksword as a form of removal. Activate the effect, remove the tour guide, get rid of the face down, battle phase, swing for 2k. We need to make something happen. Wasn't the best move, but this also results in a Zeus, which is very good in any Xyz strategy. So now it's our opponent's turn, and things are not looking very good for them. We'll see where they go. They'll activate another Signet Codec, and they realize, well, there's really nothing I can do here because Zeus will get rid of all my cards, and he'll swing for game anyway. Our opponent surrenders, so another win for Burning Abyss. And here we go, our final replay of the video here. Let's see what we can do. Burning Abyss performing pretty well, and we'll see what our opening hand will be. And oh, that's not great. So we'll just have a back row fest here. We'll set Fiend Griefing, Infinite Permanence, and Phoenix Swing. We need something. We're going up against Synchron. Interesting. I haven't played against this deck in a while, so he'll summon, but we'll Fiend Griefing, and we're going to send that right back. We don't want a ton of monsters in the graveyard. Send Scarm so we get a search. He'll summon Junk Synchron. He'll synchro them together, and we'll get Junk Speeder, which can special summon other synchro monsters, so we're going to get rid of it. Phoenix Swing, send Called By. We're going to chain Infinite Impermanence to negate the effect so that we can get rid of the card, and also it doesn't get its effect, so our opponent basically loses everything and has nothing on the field. But we really had to commit to that play, which is a problem, but we do get Tour Guide from the Scarm Search. Let's see if we can make something happen here. Draw phase, another Call by the Grave. That's big. We had to discard the other one. Let's normal Tour Guide. We'll summon Scarm and then Xyz them together for, you guessed it, Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. Summon him. We are going to send 3 cards. He's at 2,500. Activate from the grave, and I, admittedly, I'm pretty sure I misclicked here. I wanted to bring out Seer, but I brought out Scarm instead, which isn't the worst thing, because if we can get him to the grave, which we did, we still get a search, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But now we just don't have that loop. We'll get Masquerena out here, and again, there were a couple other monsters we could have bring, but just in case we needed that Nightmare Phoenix, you know, let's say this Zeus coming out, maybe it was negated or something like that. We'll have the IP as a backup plan, but Divine Arsenal Zeus is still our main. We will set Fiend Griefing, activate Scarm for the search, and we're in a pretty good position. Let's see what our opponent can do. And here in the draw phase, and oh, it's going to get monsters. Level Warrior and Synchron Carrier, Synchron Explorer, and spams out Junk Synchron, and this is turning into a problem. So he's going to Synchro for Junk Speeder. He'll actually get the effect of Junk Speeder now because we have nothing to negate. He swarms the board. We're going to Divine Arsenal, get rid of everything. Activate Dante. We're going to add Seer to hand. But he has Jet Synchron in the grave. So he can get Jet Synchron on the field, but that's all they can do. And I think we're in a good spot here. I think we're going to take this one. We're going to normal Tour Guide. And we're going to bring out Phoenix Rhino. We're going to Xyz them together. And we're going to bring out Breaksword as a form of removal. We'll set the Called By, activate Breaksword to destroy both. And we are going to take the win against Synchron. Alright, so as you can see, Burning Abyss, pretty solid here in Master Duel. It can play through a lot. It has a lot of really good removal options. you can even spam the board if need be. Some very strong Xyz monsters like Dante and Beatrice, which can lead into your Zeus. Break Sword isn't bad either, so I think Xyz is a very solid deck for this format. It's not the cheapest in terms of rarity, because like Tour Guide is still an ultra rare. You have a lot of super rare cards. Dante, ultra rare. Beatrice, ultra rare. You know, and even some of the staple cards are ultra rares as well. So, but I feel it's pretty worth it because I think it's very good. It performed very well in the Xyz Festival, which you can look at those replays on the YouTube channel. And also, it's just one of my favorite archetypes overall. That's why I dedicated a TCG deck profile, and now I dedicated a Master Duel deck profile for Burning Abyss. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe try out Burning Abyss if you like it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow me on the social medias, follow me on Twitch. We are streaming on Twitch and just having a great time. So be sure to do all that, and we will see you on the next one.